Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Houston Texans. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come into this one 0-6 on the year, and really it's sort of just been one thing after another.
Coupled with they don't start very fast. The first quarter's really been an issue for them. They've got to learn to get out of the gates quicker in order to try and win some games.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Wrong. Four down. Check. Check out. 290. Hold on. 56.
Now a handoff looking right. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Locke. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is taken at about the 14. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this up to about the 40. The numbers for him from a week ago: 18 carries, 135 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Raider first. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they'll go on the ground. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Steps short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now Kelly. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. As his guys are in for 6. And the Raiders have taken the early lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And an alley to run. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Now a first down throw. Kelly. Down the numbers. There he goes. And this results in 6. Touchdown.
As more and more up-tempo football creeps into the NFL game, some coaches don't think time of possession matters anymore. I believe we found one of them.
Boswell good with the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out come the Raiders. Now they'll run it on the taunts. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To throw is Kelly. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. They're going to have to do something with him. He was so sensational last week, over 200 yards. AFC Offensive Player of the Week, what do? You hold him?
That's a good start as long as you can get away with it. Otherwise, just giving up penalties and free plays for the offense. But I think you've got to do a combination of things. Chip it his timing at the line of scrimmage, have extra people in the territory for him. You've got to do everything and change it up from snap to snap. Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That goes for a gain of 31.
If post pattern is often equated as a change-up route, how about when you throw it to your big guy down the center of the field? Covered or not, you have great confidence he's going to come down with the football. And when he does, as we just saw, long gains often result.
The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got it first and goal at the 7. to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Keenan Allen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. The point after is good, and we are tied at 14. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with an Oakland touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They go play action here on first down. And right side, Henry's got it. Certainly not what this offense wants to see. Andrew Luck down and appears to be in some pain. We'll check on his status when we get back. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3, 9.
Working out of the gun, it's Barrett. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. And they'll run it here. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, Barrett to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Henry. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now let's go. 3, 9.
Barrett now on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Henry. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Let's go. Boom, landed.
Now they try the right side here. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. 3, 19.
On 2nd down, Barrett got his man complete over the middle. It's Henry. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Green 39. Green 39.
from the gun on third down. Barrett dancing to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, here's Barrett. This will be caught at about the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Texans have broken the tie. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Looking to throw on second. Here's Kelly. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He's at the 30, 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there, 87 yards. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Point after, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And, Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
Here's Barrett looking to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. On second down, Kelly. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. In for the score. And the Raiders have moved out in front. So not only is that his third touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Throwing again. Barrett. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun. Barrett. And it's complete. Henry. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Looks to throw on first. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, Barrett. And the Raiders have got him. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Barrett. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Flex round. Flex round.
Looking to throw on second down. Kellen. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. As his guys are in for 6, and the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much. Back to throw Barrett. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Here we go now. Blue line it. Blue line.
From the gun, Barrett. And he's got his target. That's more. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue line it.
Operating from the gun, Barrett. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. To throw on second down, Barrett. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Now let's go. Green 39.
On 1st and 10, here's Barrett. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That throw good for 4. It's second down. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Kelly. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They convert on third with a gain of 22. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On first down, it's Kelly. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. And give him a gain of 37. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year and the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's second and goal.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 2 now, second and goal.
Let's go!
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's third and goal at the 1. Well, they held him out on second down, and now here's third and goal. They come out here in the eye. It's a quarterback sneak. He needed 2. He only got 1 on the sneak, and that's going to lead us to a 4th and 1.
Now, this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
They'll try and sneak it here. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Set. Green 39.
On 3rd down. That's Armstrong. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Taking it about the 16. It's a net of 40 there. A punt of 48 and a return of 8. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. And he will find his man on the outside. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle was by the Boston College product, Harold Landry.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's Kelly. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
play action. It's Kelly. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Here we go!
From the gun, Kelly. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The 20. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Ohio! Ohio! Let's go!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Here we go! Grand 38!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Houston, it's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They come out here in the eye. They'll go with the keeper. And I don't think he got in. The big bodies up front held him at the 1. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's 3rd down. Well, they held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. It's a quarterback sneak. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded at the 2. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319. 56, Mike, 56.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing here, Barrett. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Here's Sam Martin now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And we'll see what he can do on the return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
Let's go.
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Set.
From the gun, Barrett. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
To throw is Barrett. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a fourth pick of the game. And now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Throwing on first down, Barrett. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
3-19.
Operating from the gun, Barrett. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now Barrett. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. The Texans on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, Barrett. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Raiders are going to win the football game. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Raiders, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's yet another loss as they've started out now 0-7. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis,